good song. I really get it. I mean, hi guys, welcome back to Picks and Parlays and Bet Win Repeat. I'm Timothy Earl, taking over for Lenny for the day. We're gonna have a little bit of a shorter show today. We got one guy that's gonna come on and talk with us later. We got Mr. Terry Edelman joining us, but before we jump into it, I have to mention the Picks and Parlays contest. I don't have a current up-to-date standings on the monthly contest. Lenny will probably show that off tomorrow. But I will say, if you guys are still in it, good luck. I know I was in it for a couple of days and then forgot to put plays in. I just kind of quit from there. But make sure you guys check out the weekly one, which starts today on the Picks and Parlays contest page, linked down in the description below. You guys can go ahead, check that out. Facebook.com/group/Picks and Parlays contest. I believe it's $100 for the week. 130 max juice. Read all the rules in that Facebook group. If you guys are interested in grabbing anything over at the picksandparlays.net website, MLB will save you 20% off the entire site. Check out the new Picks and Parlays app. It's available on the Google Play Store and on the Apple Store. I know I use it every day because I download it and I get the bonus pick from the second half of the NBA games from Craig, which he's been doing pretty solid with. Although last night grabbing the Celtics minus whatever was probably not a good idea. But anyway, you guys make sure to download the Picks and Parlays app, available on all platforms. All right, we got some talking to do, and today I guess we'll be more of a NBA heavy because I know Terry loves the NBA. We got some hockey we'll talk about with him too, some baseball. We'll see where he likes and stuff. Terry, welcome back. How are you doing?
Hi, Tim. Not too bad. Things have been going well. 3 winning days in a row on the site, including a 4-0 Saturday, which was really nice. Hockey's going well. My draws are hitting, so I'm cashing plus 340 draws. And then my teams are winning once we go to overtime. So NHL, last year in the playoffs, it was rough for me. I had a great regular season. Playoffs came, and yes, Minnesota got eliminated, which obviously didn't start the playoffs off very well for me. But the rest of the playoffs were just bad. I just did really bad in the playoffs. This year, I didn't have the regular season that I wanted, but playoffs have been pretty well. I've been going pretty well. So I'm going to keep going there. And with that in mind, the draw tonight, plus 320 in the game between Florida and Carolina. All 4 NHL playoff games in the conference finals have gone to overtime so far. So it's a plus 320 bet. Don't go crazy on it, but I'm definitely betting it once again for a half unit because I've already cashed 2 plus 340s. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's where I'm going in the NHL game. My free play.
Is it normal to see this many overtimes in a playoff series like this?
Not in a row like that necessarily, but you do see a lot of overtimes in the playoffs because teams are playing it safe, unless you're Ryan Suter, who had a horrible turnover to Jack Eichel, which won me a 9-game player hit/point parlay.
There you go.
So I really was happy about that. But it's about if it's at the end of the game, but you want to keep things close because you want to get to overtime at least. You don't want to lose in the final minutes.
Yeah, so they play a little bit more conservative. I know we tended to notice that towards the end of the regular season, especially when there was like 2 teams that were fighting for playoff spots and they're opposite conferences. You see a lot of overtimes with all that. So, although getting to overtime in the playoffs doesn't really mean as much, just because
you don't get the extra point like you do in the regular season.
Matter. It's not.
But you don't want to lose the game in the final minute because that's a momentum killer. And the playoffs in the NHL is about momentum.
Correct.
Who has it and who can keep it. And what happened to Dallas They gave up that really Suter gave up that really bad turnover. Vegas tied it. They went to overtime, and it didn't take very long, and Vegas won because they had the momentum from that goal. So it's all about momentum in the playoffs. Um, and yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, and we've seen it so far. Both teams up 2-0 in the series, and I kind of mentioned a couple days ago. I saw a couple of the games in the playoffs and went, I wonder what the odds are that all four conference finals, so NBA and NHL, all finish in sweeps. I don't think we've seen that before, but I was looking at them like, because at the time both NBA series were 2-0. The Vegas Golden Knights were up 1-0, and it was already 2-0 in the Carolina series. I was wondering what the odds on that would be. I don't know. It kind of looked interesting to see if we can get all sweeps. But do you think we can get 2 sweeps in the NHL?
I don't know. I don't know. All four sweeps would be crazy. That would be history. It would have
Yeah,
to be. It would have to be. But I don't know. Both teams, Carolina tonight and Dallas tomorrow, are going to be desperate. Now, desperate doesn't
mhm.
necessarily mean win,
Yeah,
but you may want to look at them in the first period. Carolina tonight and Dallas tomorrow because they're going to be desperate teams. But I could see sweeps, yeah,
yeah.
because yeah, I
I'll use the argument for desperate doesn't mean good starts or playing well, because we saw what happened Game 3 last night with, and I'm keeping going back to NBA because that's my sport that I know. We saw the Miami Heat absolutely just whoop on the Celtics. It wasn't close from pretty much the beginning. And it was kind of the same deal for the first half in the Game 3 of the Nuggets and the Lakers, where none of the teams down 2-0 covered spreads or anything in the first half, first quarter. Boston was completely lost the entire time. Lakers made it close, but we looked at it, and yeah, just because desperate does not mean they're going to keep it close or play well. So just keep that into your capping. Just because a game is a must win does not mean they're going to win. And we got to all kind of keep that into perspective whenever we get, a team can clinch a playoff spot. Doesn't mean they're going to clinch that playoff spot, or doesn't mean they're going to clinch that series that night. So it's just one thing we got to keep an eye on for that stuff. And because once again, this is something that the public's going to see too, is, this team needs to win in order to stay alive. Like I've seen a lot of people all over the Lakers today. Oh, they need to win. LeBron's not going to get swept. It could happen. And I could see all.
I will say I did want to bet. I did want to bet Miami yesterday,
Mm,
and I didn't, and I really regretted it. And I really want to bet Denver tonight, but I'm not going to, and I'm probably going to regret it again. But my focus right now is NHL and MLB. I could
yeah,
jump into the NBA, but I'll be honest, I didn't have a good NBA season on the site. NBA just did not. There was one really stretch where I had like a 2 week, which was like my worst 2 weeks in
yeah.
like capping history. And of course, that was during the NHL All Star break. So I
Mm-hmm.
was doing NBA and nothing was going right. So after that time, I NBA no betting allowed. I'll let Tim stick to the NBA, but I've been kind of looking at it in the playoffs, and maybe I should have taken some spots. Maybe I will in the finals. We'll see how things go, but it looks like Miami and Denver are kind of like Florida and Vegas, where
They just look better.
yeah,
Which I will say it is, and I've made the comparison a bunch of times. The Florida Panthers and the Miami Heat are the same team. Both teams won in the first round against the best team in the league, then took down a team that everybody that finally made it past the first round. Everybody was all hyped on. Now they're taking care of business against one of the the next best team in the Eastern Conference, and then they're both going to lose to a Western Conference team in the finals. But I will say, to be fair, I've called a Western Conference team winning the Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals from in the beginning of the playoffs. Obviously, when I predicted that, I didn't expect the Miami Heat to run through the Bucks. I expected the Sixers to put up more of a fight. And it's kind of the same deal with the NHL. I expected the Bruins to be in there, and I expected the Maple Leafs to make it a little bit further. And you look at it.
Well, I did not expect the Maple Leafs to make it further. The Maple Leafs
No.
they made it to the second round for the first time in 20 years. And you know what? I can't rip on the Maple Leafs too much because one of the teams that hold the longest streak now, I don't know if it's the longest, but I believe Minnesota is right there now with with Toronto making it to the second round. So the
Yeah,
Wild have not done it in a while, but I had no expectations for Toronto to go. I was surprised they actually beat Tampa Bay. And
I
Boston was never making it to the Cup.
no.
President's Trophy curse is real. Look at Florida. They won the President's Trophy last year, and I think they made it to the second. They did
They got
not.
swept in the second round to Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Now they barely make it in as the eighth seed, and look where they are two
That's
games away
exactly
from
it.
going. So
And,
the
and
President's Trophy curse is real. Boston was never going to make it. And you're right about the NHL in the West with the fact that everybody has been saying the Eastern Conference, like everyone's been all talking about the Eastern Conference all season long in the NHL, which Eastern team is going to win the Cup, and pretty much saying the Wests are going to beat each other up and nobody's really going to be there.
I said it was going to be
And
the East that was going to beat each other up. Whoever made
yeah,
it through the East had to go through a gauntlet of dominant teams. Like you look at Florida, they've had to go through Boston, Toronto, and now Carolina. Like if you could flip it around, Carolina had to go through a physical Islanders team. Then they had to go up against a Devils team that was up and coming. Now they go up against Florida, who won the President's Cup last year, or President's Trophy last year. And they're pretty much the same team as last year, exchanged for their star player, which they got rid of Huberdeau and got Kachuk. I think they upgraded.
and Mackenzie Weegar
Yeah.
is a piece missing from the defense, but they've had a lot of guys step up.
Yeah. This is a Florida team that the more shocking thing with Florida this year was the fact that they were so bad early in the year. Like that, this is a team that if they had a average start, they probably could have placed in the Atlantic Conference, the top three. But they had a bad start, little like a lack of chemistry in the beginning of the year that they kind of gained towards the middle and end of the year, and they made a big run. And they've also got to thank the Chicago Blackhawks for being the Penguins the last game, unless they wouldn't even be in the playoffs, which the Penguins would have gotten swept by Boston for sure.
What do you think about the Blue Jays today?
Oh, yes. I think that's one thing that I needed to add still. I like the Blue Jays. I with their ace on the mound. I miss Chris Bassett on the Mets. I miss him more than I miss that Jacob guy. Chris Bassett's been phenomenal this year. Ever since he gave up those 9 runs to the Cardinals in his first game, he's only allowed 10 earned runs in his previous 53 in his next 53 innings. Bassett's been the best pitcher on this staff throughout this entire season. Take out that one game. So I'm going to continue to back him. You get Tampa Bay running out a bullpen game, which I believe, and Nick would probably correct me if I was wrong, is dead last or close or bottom 5 in terms of bullpen xFIB the last 30 days, which is a advanced metric of measuring how good or bad the bullpen's been doing, or pitching in general can do. And they've
doesn't
had
really
one of the
sound too
worst.
much like the Tampa Bay Rays,
And
like that we all know and think of,
because they've kind of disguised it with with being able to hit, which I will say, in the beginning of the year, I did not have Tampa making the playoffs because I thought their offense was lackluster. They've proven me wrong.
Yeah. Rickett asked about the under. I would lean that way. But I like what Higgs is saying. I like what Higgs is saying. Higgs is coming here, talking some knowledge here. And Tim will like this.
Yes.
So, yeah, Higgs is coming in and agreeing with us.
I mentioned earlier, all of the conference games sweep. whether it's Denver, Miami, Florida, and Vegas. All of them sweep. Ready for it?
I wonder if you could still bet that.
I think at this point you would have to try to moneyline parlay all of them. Is that possible to do? I'm going to see if I can.
You could still bet them all to win the series, minus if there's a handicap.
Oh wait,
you might still
this
be able
might be
to.
more of a thing I could do on an offshore book, which I'm not going to list because our sponsor is Caesars. Rays are home at home juggernaut. Yeah, but it's hard to go
Starting to cool
against
off a little
Bassett
bit
right now.
winning wise though. 5-5 in their last 10 games. So they're starting to. And Bassett hasn't given up a run in his last 3 starts. So
He's been fantastic. I miss Chris Bassett. Let's see.
defense galore.
Nuggets in.
I could see it, Rickett. I could see it being close to being the exact same like last time. 2-1 Florida Panthers win in overtime. If you want to take Kachuk for a goal, he's already won the first 2 games in overtime. I could see Kachuk winning it in overtime for game 3 and making history. So I could see it going under.
I'm currently putting together what it could be. I can't parlay it, but I'm just trying to find out what the odds are, and from there I could figure out how much a parlay would pay for all the teams to sweep. Parlay.
And when it comes to the Blue Jays, while Tim's looking at that, a lot of Blue Jays fans are saying the sky is falling. The sky is falling. They're 5th in the division.
Their division.
Fire Schneider. Get rid of everybody. No. You have to look at who the Jays are facing. They are series after series after series against really good teams. The sky's not falling. They're going through a funk against when they're facing their good teams. They're going to have a stretch where they face Kansas City and Oakland and Detroit and Cincinnati, and they're going to face all those teams. And I would rather them get their losing now done against the bad teams, so when they face the good teams, they can go through a great stretch. So the sky's not falling for the Blue Jays, but they are not a team you really want to back at this point right now, except for today. I do agree with Tim today. This is a good spot to take them, but they're not a team that you really want to back a whole lot right now until they get out of their funk.
All right. I found out, I kind of got the odds from one of my books that I was looking at, and these are all teams to win 4-0, which right now, those are the current odds. Nuggets 135, Heat minus 120, Panthers plus 250, Vegas plus 375. And if you parlay them all together, it's plus 70-62 for every single series to end in a sweep. I wanted to look it up. I wanted to see what it looks like. So there you go. Vegas is the longest odds. Heat are the shortest odds.
Hey, I don't know about the NBA enough.
I think the NBA ones too. I would be more worried about. I think the one that I'd be most worried about is Vegas. Obviously, they're longest odds, but
yeah, to actually sweep Dallas. But
if they win Game 3, then I really, obviously, would like that even more. But
Vegas is a very good road team. So, if Vegas can get, they get through Game 3, then it's over.
Yeah. Which one of Higgs' comments did you get to last?
Jays aren't getting good pitching yet, except today, or except Bassett.
And Gosman's
been good too. Gosman's got really roughed up in a few starts, but overall he's been good.
And I want to make a bold statement that I know Terry's going to hate. At one point this year, Manoah is going to be sent down to AAA.
No,
he'll have to, because you got to keep in mind
Jays don't have somebody. There's zero chance that happens. There's absolutely zero chance.
I think there's a chance that he gets sent down for 2 to 3 starts, tries to work on his mechanics, try to work on different sequences, try to build up his confidence again, and then see where it goes from there. He's in his second year. He had a phenomenal first year. I'm not going to sell him short on that one. He was one of the best pitchers in baseball last year. This year has been a sophomore slump for him.
Tim, he was their opening day starter.
Correct.
I know you say Bassett is their ace, but
I was
Manoa
joking.
is
He's pitching like their
Manoa
best
is
pitcher right
still
now.
perceived and
As the ace.
he's still the ace. There's zero chance he gets moved down to AAA. Zero chance. It won't happen.
That's fine. That's fine.
Unless he turns into
That's why I called it a bold take.
unless he starts giving up 8 earned runs a game
He's been
consistently.
getting hit lately.
Unless he goes completely awful. He's walking too many guys right now. Yes. And he's not nearly what he was last year. Yes. But he's not go down to AAA. That would his confidence and his persona, you can't do that. There's zero chance that happens.
When does he pitch next? I want to look at his stats real quick. Oh, I can't find anything. Nope, I don't have any stats on him at the moment because I can't find him on covers. But that's why I called it a bold take.
A little really bold. Like,
hey, that's fine. At the end of the day, he's still a second-year pitcher. Yeah, Higgs crushes on his Yankees. I thought you were an Astros fan. What the heck, dude? Every team is hot and cold. Every team will go on a hot streak. Every team will go on a cold streak. It's just who can have more hot streaks than cold streaks.
You can do the comments, Tim. Because you're the host. That is your job. So I'll let you
I know. You were clicking along, so I was letting you.
Yeah, I know. Because I was trying to bring
props. I give props to Tim. He was high on the Orioles from the start. They definitely have overachieved for me. But man, Tim, hey, can we not do this? I know what you're trying to do.
Let's not boost Tim's ego too much here.
No. You're trying to.
That's way too much props to Tim in one comment. Like way too much.
No. He's not trying to boost my ego. He's trying to jinx the Orioles because he was not high on them.
That's
Nick
fine
was
with
not
me.
high on them.
No, the Orioles, they're pitching. They're still overachieving in pitching. So until their pitching comes down to earth, or maybe it doesn't, and if it doesn't, then they're dangerous team.
If the Orioles continue to play the way that they're playing, which they're about to start a series in Yankee Stadium, they get to go up against Garrett Cole tomorrow. I will be on the Orioles. If they continue to play the way that they're playing, they look good right now. They're currently 15 games over 500. I still believe they're only 2.5 games back of the Rays, which that was once a 7-game lead for them. Wow. And let's be honest, the Rays will regress. They're not going to be winning at 70% the entire year. And I do believe at the end of the year, Boston's going to be dead last. But Tampa, Baltimore, Yankee, Toronto will all be within 5 games of each other. And it's going to be because they don't have to face each other as much.
Tim, somebody in the chat is asking for a lock. And I know how you feel about locks.
Normally, I get one of those locks that you use a key with, and you can put it on like a locker, or you know what? You normally grab your keys and you press the lock button to lock your car. Those are the locks I like today. No such thing as a lock.
They aren't locks, but there are some very good player props right now in baseball.
Yes,
I've been hitting on my players to get hits in a parlay. As I said, I cashed a 9-gamer yesterday. So if you want, I can run through some players.
Go ahead.
That are really, really good right now. For Texas, Corey Seager and Marcus Semien. Since Corey Seager's come back to Texas, he has absolutely smashed the ball. 438 last 7 days. Leads the team against righties. Marcus Semien as well, 407 the last 7 days. So you want to take Seager and Semien both to get a hit together. Tampa Bay Rays, as much as Chris Bassett has been really good, Tampa's top 2 hitters against right-handed pitchers, Diaz and Josh Lowe, are also the top 2 hitters over the last 7 days. So you want to take Yandy Diaz and Josh Lowe for Tampa Bay. Kevin Kiermaier is the Jays' hottest player, making his return to Tampa Bay. He's either going to make a home run stealing save, which he probably will do anyways, and I like him to get a hit because he's been hitting really well. Ketel Marte for Arizona, Bryson Stott for Philadelphia, both hitting the ball well. Big ones, Tommy Edman and Nolan Arenado for St. Louis, smashing the ball last 7 days, smashing the ball against lefties. Freddie Freeman, Acuna Jr. I know they're big names, but they're hitting the ball really, really well recently. And I think that's about it. Owen Miller for Milwaukee, not a player people talk about, but hitting the ball well lately and against righties. And Mickey Moniak for the LA Angels. One of my favorite players because he consistently gets hits for me. So that is where I'd go with that.
I will say I'm looking at one or two prop. I try to look at some props and see what I can do with them. The one prop that I found that I like the most is from a Texas Ranger, and it's Adolis Garcia over 1.5 runs and RBIs. It is even money, but he leads the league in RBIs. He's third in home runs. He's been one of the big reasons why this offense is doing what they're doing. Oh, did you see the one stat? I believe the Texas Rangers have scored double digits in 20% of their games. They've scored at least 10 runs in, I believe it's 11 or 12 out of their 46 games. Their offense has just been phenomenal. They're also averaging the highest amount of runs per game, 6.61 coming into today. Going up against Pittsburgh, I think that one sails over the total. Yeah, the never in doubt sweep parlay. I like it.
I just put my so Brandon Harris is saying, "Damn, I need a pen for all those player props." I put the link to my spreadsheet in the chat here. So all these stats and all the players I like are in this spreadsheet. So go to this spreadsheet. You can see every player for every game that I'm on for free. It's all up there.
Oh, here, one more player prop for you. Alec Burleson from the St. Louis Cardinals, plus 110 run RBI. He's been hitting well, and he's an ECU Pirate. So let's get it.
Yeah, I don't take players because they're an ECU Pirate. I look at players for other reasons.
Oh, 100%.
They have to make
he's
my
actually been hitting
freestyle
well.
list.
He's actually been hitting well. And he's been.
Yeah, there's just guys that are hitting so much better than him right now. That's why I'm on other guys.
That's fine. I can get plus money for him to score a run or RBI today. And I'm expecting the Cardinals to put up some runs against a bad Cincinnati team. Rays today is a bullpen game, and well, they have not performed well recently. Blue Jays bullpen has been worse. You like the over. The thing is, I don't know how much bullpen we're going to need to see from Toronto because Chris Bassett is just a workhorse. He'll get you through 6-7 innings, and I think Toronto will be able to will be just fine today. Blue Jays first 5, yes. Someone in the East goes all in for Bieber. No way Cleveland holds him. Why not Baltimore? Why not Baltimore go after him? Or maybe a team, probably a New York team will go after him. But you got to keep in mind, the trade deadline is not about money. Zero to do with money, and it's to do with what prospects you're willing to give up. What players are you willing to give up in trying to go after it? So that's why you're going to try to see some of the teams go after it, but that you might not see many teams go after it hard because they don't want to ruin their future to go along with it.
Cleveland's a team about money, though. They always trade away their pitchers before they have to start paying them.
I would be totally okay with them trading away Bieber anywhere, even if he goes to the Mets. I would love him to go to the Mets, but because
but for them it's about money. A lot of other teams, like you said, it is about prospects, but there are teams where it's all about like Oakland, another example of money.
They'll grab prospects all day. Oakland will can trade one guy, and that's Rooker, and that's about it. But if Bieber gets traded away from the Guardians, that would give an opportunity for my boy Gavin Williams to get up in the majors. So that would be cool to see.
I think the Dodgers need more pitching, so I won't be surprised if
Dodgers
they.
could be involved in it too. Angels could be involved in it if they're still competitive down the stretch. Seattle could be involved in it.
If this is smart, they give Cleveland a call.
Yeah. Anybody who's in it, Atlanta can still. Well, I don't. They could. But their rotation's going to be just fine. Philadelphia, maybe if they're trying to be competitive. St. Louis, if they. I still think St. Louis will be sellers at the deadline, but we'll see. But Bieber's going to be one of the hot topics at the deadline, for sure. Witt, J-Rod, Pena, all sophomore slumps. Yeah. Yeah. Pena hasn't been terrible. But yeah, Witt and J-Rod haven't been the same guys as they were. Astros need Astros. Well, do the Astros really need hitting though? Pitching though? I don't think they do. I think that they could look for it, but I don't
All
know.
teams.
All teams won't turn
No
down.
team is going to be like, "Oh, Bieber? Oh no, we don't need Bieber." No, I think any team would take.
Any team will take Bieber
like that.
Why not a team like Miami? If Miami's competitive, that could be interesting. Although they should go after a bat rather than pitching.
Yes.
A Brew contract. Has a Brew hit a home run yet this year?
I'm not sure.
Oh, wow. He's
not on my list.
Yeah. So. No. I was like, no way. Tim was like, watch. Hey, it's still very early in the year. Plenty of time for them to choke. I also said the Red Sox would be brutal. Red Sox pitching has been brutal. Their offense has been fantastic. Their offense is one of the best in baseball. As crazy as that sounds, they are currently scoring 5.49 runs per game, which is third in the league. So they've been hitting, except for their pitchers can't keep the ball in the ballpark. That is wrong. White Sox today. Yes. I know we do have a pitcher for that now. It's Jimmy Lambert pitching for the White Sox today. So most likely a bullpen game.
Yeah, he goes one inning.
I still like the White Sox today. You get the Guardians traveling after Sunday Night Baseball after playing a doubleheader yesterday. The one benefit to the Guardians, though, is that Shane Bieber gave them 8 innings last night, so he went a complete game. They didn't need to use any bullpen last night in Sunday Night Baseball, although they still had to play a doubleheader and they still had to travel. So I think it's a really bad spot for Cleveland. So I am on the White Sox today.
That's a player prop game for me. No side or total there at all.
You think Higgs thinks all AL East teams win at least 90 games?
I can see it.
I can see 4 of them.
It's because teams don't face their division as much.
Each other. They're not cannibalizing each other.
Yeah, they're facing every other team. So
which for the AL East this year, you're facing worse opponents.
Yeah, so I can see them all winning 90.
Battle of the juggernaut offenses today, Royals and the Tigers. Do I have a thing for
This is my Picks Parlays.
Stop it. Get some help.
I didn't know Tim was going to push that video, but this is my Picks Parlays exclusive play of the day.
There you go.
I have a pick in this game, a side or total, and it's my exclusive play of the day up on the site.
I know you told me. What the heck did you bet in I'm not going to say it out loud. What the heck did you bet in this game? I'm going back up to
this is a game that I actually like.
Okay.
So, and I have my reasons for it. Use code MLB, Picks and Parlays for my package.
Later, fellas. Later, Higgs. Have a good one. Nothing unknown.
I know, Brandon. It's just Tim hates the word lock. That's why I pointed out your comment. It was nothing against you.
I'm with that for hitters to get a hit. Maybe my favorite props. That's fair. Most of them are pretty juicy, so I try not to go after obviously, I don't do a lot of parlays. Terry does the parlays, and he's been hitting them lately. So
for the big guys, if you don't want to do a 9-game parlay like I do, and it's each person's own, you can get guys for two guys to get a hit, certain for good odds.
Yeah,
for plus money, or 3 you can get for plus 150 to plus 200 for 3 players to get a hit.
That's fine.
And if you do the research or go to my spreadsheet, I've done the research there for you, and there's a lot of good players to get hit. So unless there's a day where there's like 10 no-hitters, then you'll be fine.
There you go. Yep, that's there. Yes, Rangers team total over. There's no reason for me not to like that. I will say I was wrong about the Rangers. They're good. They're good this year. Jokic 20+ points and Murray 3+ 3-pointers made is boosted to. So is Joker just going to have an average game or will he only get 17 points, 17 rebounds, and 12 assists? Okay, that's fine. Porter over 6.5 rebounds. Keep cashing back to the well. I don't hate that option. Goldie over 1.5 bases. Goldie's been good, right? Is he on your spreadsheet?
He's not on my list because, well, yeah, St. Louis have been good hitting right now. Right, St. Louis is playing like they started the season off so bad, and now they're actually playing really, really well.
Yep.
So Edman, Arenado, and Oscar Mercado are on my list because they're hitting insanely right now.
Yep.
But Goldschmidt is also hitting well. I can't put 10 Cardinals on my list. I keep it at the 3 max.
But...
Yeah, I know, but I try to keep it at 3 max. So St. Louis is hitting well. I wouldn't talk you off that.
There you go. Once again, if you guys are interested in grabbing any of Terry's plays over on picksandparlays.net, promo code MLB will save you 20% off the entire site. He has a play in that Tigers-Royals game, which is call it your best bet.
But it's my exclusive play. Yeah, it's my exclusive play of the day. So I do give out some of my plays on my show.
Yep.
But there's one play each day, my exclusive Picks and Parlays play of the day. You can only get it in my package up on the site.
There you go. Thank you guys.
And you can get Tim and Nick's package and my package and still get 20% off. So
there you go. I'm with you for hitters. I'd really like all parlays 7 and 9.
I know it sounds crazy, but
at the odds that there are,
and it's not like you're going a full unit or anything. Mm-hmm. Like I go small bets. It's more for fun, but they've been hitting, so stick with it.
You can't argue with it if they're hitting.
Yeah.
There you go. That's going to do it for this episode or this edition of Bet Win Repeat. Lenny will be back tomorrow, and I believe. Let me pull up who's going to be on it tomorrow. It will be Lenny with, if my email wants to work, Ross Benjamin and Mr. Nick Parsons. So make sure you guys check out that 1 o'clock tomorrow for another edition of Bet Win Repeat. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.